I left mine downstairs, so thank you, thank you. Maybe we can start again with a reintroduction.
Sure.
We are all ready to begin. Okay.
I'm Nora Joy. I am a member of STIR and am happy to be here.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Sharon. I'm also a member of STIR and a psychologist.
Good morning, I'm Monique London Martins, and I'm also happy to be here. I'm a member of STIR, Social Time and Reality.
Good morning, I'm Mabel. I'm also a member of STIR, and I am blessed to be a part of the squad over here. Thank you.
Okay.
Let's talk about last time.
So last time we talked about getting through the holidays and how challenging the holidays are for a lot of us who have lost family members, loved ones, friends. We got a lot of positive feedback from you guys in terms of the topic, how transparent we were, and just having a space to discuss it and wanting more time to be able to kind of pipe in and offer your thoughts on it and be able to share. So we really do appreciate that. We want to let you guys know that we have a platform where we can start to have those discussions. We have a website that's live and up and ready to receive your positive comments and feedback. And you can look at some of the things that are coming in terms of the workshops that we're going to have. And I mean, the workshops, guys, it runs the gamut in terms of touching upon things that are important to the community in the sense of young people as we age, the elderly. So we have a lot of things coming your way. So we want you to definitely go and check that out. We have our social media platforms. So please take some time to kind of peruse and see what we have coming for you guys.
Thank you so much. I'd like to just remind us that Social Time and Reality, while we're hosting various topics and workshops, we're also really, it's where innovation and education meet. We are inspired by our experiences, and we are hopeful that we can offer individual, small group, and workshops to various audiences, whether it's individuals that have need some follow-up care because they've kind of gotten in trouble in the community and they have a list of tasks they need to do, or it's maybe some young adults that have some school phobia, or maybe perhaps some preschoolers that are just running through the age of 4 and 5 and perhaps need some avatars to help guide them. But just let you know, we design, we create, and we individualize. And I think what's great about Social Time and Reality is that the innovation that we're bringing to facilitate conversation. All right.
And so for today, we're talking about, it really is in honor of Black history. So we thought, what could we do to kind of commemorate, acknowledge, and celebrate Black History Month. And so we thought about racial healing. We know that the climate is pretty tense, but really looking at it from a healing perspective. So that's how we came up with this topic in terms of racial healing and moving forward with all of what's going on in the world.
So I'll give a little statistics. The CDC put out a statistic of 50 to 53% of Black students in high school report experiencing racial discrimination at school. They also said that Black students are 3 to 4 times more likely to be suspended than white students. And so we talk about the stress, but as COVID has produced a different, a generation, some people have lost their social skills, but some people have also had to put up with microaggressions and feeling left out, and being depicted as a monkey, and how painful that is. In a way of social battery, there's a scale from 1 to 10. How would you say, what is your social battery? 10 being high, 1 being low.
No, that's a really good idea to think about it in that rating like with scale type of way. And so are you asking us that? Or are you asking folks to think about that?
I'm asking us, and I'm asking folks to think about it. We just had 2 of our leaders depicted as monkeys, and we just had, and when I say we, I mean everybody. I mean all of the United States. It doesn't necessarily have to be one race or the other, but it sends a message.
Yeah. All right. Thinking about that Likert scale, and again, tell me again from 1 to 10, and 1 being
1 being low,
okay
10 being high,
in terms of feelings
and,
of
and feelings of
distress,
distress,
concern,
yep,
worry.
concern, tiredness.
So if I watch TV, if I watch the news, I'm at a 10.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
So
Yeah.
if I'm like in my own little bubble, which is unrealistic, but if I don't turn it on, I'm probably a 4, right? So I think watching the news contributes some of it too, but also in our daily lives, we all, I don't care who you are, what walk of life, what social economic, we're gonna come up against that. And so being able to have community to go back to kind of process and lift you up and be able to kind of go back out there. But I will say, if I'm watching TV, it's probably a 10. If I'm on that news channel, whatever it may be, I'm probably at a 10 or higher.
I would agree with that. I do think as I watch what's happening around the world, the states, thinking about my husband who's from Nigeria, I would say, yeah, we certainly embrace that because it's real for us, and it's there are times that the news will elevate me to a 10, and then when I think I'm de-escalated from my 10, if I read something or hear something, or a young adult shares a story with me, just in passing or by accidental, it kind of triggers again. And so while my scale may be lower, when that happens, then I'm back up at a 8 or 9. So that's interesting, because what we're hoping to do is through our workshop is be able to use that scale and build some tools. What about you, Mabel?
I think for me, it's more when I'm at work. I think I'm at a 12. 10, I'm off the Richter scale.
Yeah.
I'm at a 12 because it's always, I feel like you're always like on guard, like when you're fencing. Like it's the microaggression or the passive aggressiveness, or, I have to worry about my tone, my face, the way I present. I can't be my authentic self because somebody's going to take what I say incorrectly. And people often tone policing you. Ironically, we're talking about this subject. I think it impacts me greatly more so at work, because what about those people who have supervisors who like just target them for the minutest reason, like that mental and psychological like weight that often, like, I'm more exhausted when I'm at work trying to navigate, did I say something wrong? Did I
The stressors.
I think you said it, those triggers. And then it's just like, or when I'm walking into a store and I feel like, are you trying to help me or you're
Trying to follow me.
Are you, or when some are genuinely, is it because you were too short to reach that top shelf, or you're asking me because you think I'm the help? Like, it's just, I feel like constantly
Oh.
without, and it's just, I just want to go to work, do my work, and bring myself home.
But you said
I-
something that was really interesting. Are you asking me because you know I really need the help? I didn't wear my heels, I'm a little too short, and I cannot reach. Or are you asking me because you think I'm the help? Ooh.
Let me tell you, I had one supervisor who, God rest her soul, who used to be on me because she constantly critical of me, and it had gotten to the point where when I saw her, I would start my tears would start to run. And it wasn't until she said, "Who am I? I'm this white lady who has no idea what you're going through," that the tears stopped. And I realized that I was afraid of her. I realized that I was double checking, shrinking myself, shrinking my voice.
That's a good terminology.
And it was so debilitating that tears would come when someone who's supposed to come help me, and that's powerful. That's really powerful.
I definitely would think what you said is helpful to some of the people who are listening, knowing how your body reacts to these stressors, right? You said you automatically would start crying. For me, it's just your heart starts beating really fast, and then my, hands become clammy, and then, like you said, you're in your head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Constantly, as I'm speaking, I am also in my head saying, check your tone, check your eyes, check your body language. That's exhausting, isn't it?
So think about that for us as we are beginning to go from middle age to get a little bit more seasoned, right? And then let's revert back and reflect on our youth. Let's go back to when we were teens. Did we understand it?
No.
Was it hit? I'm from the South. Everyone was very nice. I didn't understand much of what my mother shared, where she spent half the time from being born in the South but raised in New York. And I would say I had the best of both worlds. But at that time, as a young teenager, I walked through life with blinders on. Did not realize the impact. So I bring us forward to, if we're still working on ourselves, where are our teens? How are we, what are we giving them? How are we giving them the language? How are we giving them the tools? What does that look like for them? How do they talk about it? How do they express it? What do they really say?
Are they shrinking themselves?
Are they shrinking their skill set?
I think sometimes when I get the opportunity and I'm scrolling on TikTok or things, as the terminology, the YNs, I don't think they're going for it. I have to say some of our young youth are very much vocal and very much, I am not my mother, I'm not my grandmother.
It's a different generation.
It
Definitely a different generation, but also too, I want to take that power back. We are our ancestors, because a lot of our ancestors just did not just lay down and take it.
Right.
They fought back. But I want to just, while we're also focusing on the youth, I also want to bring in, I don't want our audience to think we're just one-dimensional. This is not a black or white issue.
No.
It's an everybody
It's a
issue.
human
Human issue, because it's just exhausting. Could I imagine on the other end being a non-melanated person, you don't know what to say, or if you say something, is it going to offend? And even our comedians these days have to walk on eggshells because they can't want to offend anybody. So when did we stop becoming humans? And then now more so using these things to be weapons to mentally, psychologically, and physically take down one another.
You done said a word right there.
That's a word.
That's a word. You just have to sit with it for a minute.
But I also think as parents, we operate out of fear.
Absolutely.
And so we want to parent and we think we're parenting. We're all guilty of it. I know we operate out of fear. So what we're teaching our kids really, sometimes I don't know if they're hearing it because we're communicating it in anger or in a tone that they perceive to be, hostile. But in our minds, it's our fear of them being hurt
Oh man, that chat is blowing up.
that we communicate it. They can't hear it that way, but that's how they hear it, and we think that we're just, listen. We know we've been there. We're trying to prevent you from doing that. We understand the climate. I don't want you to do this. I don't want you. But it's coming out in a sense of being very, I don't want to say aggressive, but the tone is like very stern. But that's a level of fear. And I think as adults, we've got to kind of figure out how do we communicate effectively to our kids so that it isn't out of fear. It's more out of education. It's more, they perceive it as love versus you don't know, you're old, and being able to kind of cross that line. So even the YNs, because sometimes there's a need to check people.
Absolutely.
But to be able to communicate effectively so everyone can understand the urgency or the need to be able to discern where people are coming from when it is those microaggressions or when it is just blatant.
And when they check people, we sometimes still have a moment of diplomacy and be able to sometimes, depending on how abrasive the comment or conversation may be, we still try to have a reference and a framework that we operate from. Some of our teens have not grown there.
Right.
So yes, they are responding, and sometimes their response suggests something different other than I'm expressing my opinion on what I'm saying and how I'm feeling. Now I'm angry and I've done something wrong.
Right.
As opposed to, I'm only sharing how I'm feeling so you have a better understanding. And sometimes that needs a little shaping. We all are continuing to grow and be shaped. Our youth need to know how to shape, articulate, communicate, and not be seen as the person that's angry.
Right.
Sure. They need to know what is bothering them. They need to know why it's bothering them. They need to know what is connected, what feeling they are struggling with. They need to learn to breathe. Take deep breaths to calm themselves down first. Then they need to have a plan. They need to have a plan of how do I want to respond in the next situation so that I can set some limits so that I can empower myself and so that I can move through and protect myself, yet express myself.
Right.
And how do I communicate this to my family? How do I communicate this in a way that doesn't seem just to disturb the family system, but yet how do I come up with a plan with my family on what to do next?
Right.
Instead of withdrawing and deciding, okay, I'm not going to be part of this dance group because this ballet dance group because I heard them talking about my skin color, right? How to advocate for yourself. I think that's what, if I was talking to the younger me, so let's say if I was talking to the 15-year-old me, I would want to know, how do I stand up for myself in a way that protects my peace?
So I would ask, how do you teach that if you don't know it as an adult? So
Right.
that's powerful too, because a lot of our adults don't have the social and emotional intelligence to even do that, right? So it's hard for us to teach that youth. And I think to you guys' point, that's when social time and reality comes into impact for
Absolutely.
teaching those
Absolutely.
social
Absolutely.
skills, right?
Absolutely.
To be able to advocate,
Absolutely.
right? To
Absolutely.
be socially aware of one's
Yes.
emotions, like
Yes.
Nora said, right? So social intelligence is a skill,
Mhm.
and being
Absolutely.
able to recognize your triggers when what is your body telling you,
Right.
you know, and are you speaking to that person's pain?
The wounded, because they wounded. You know, we
Right.
walk around,
Mhm.
and while you don't see the
We
limp
carry
or
'em.
hump,
Yeah.
you're carrying it, right? That energy is there.
So being able for social time and reality to support not only the adults,
Absolutely.
we're teaching a skill and strategy to be able to support not only the adults but also the children, right? And being able to be socially aware when you're in these spaces, because let's take it to a lot of us middle class,
Mhm.
right, who are raising our kids in the burbs, who don't know a clue and see the world through utopiary eyes, which that's what our job is, right? To take them out of a space that we were once in
Ooh-wee.
and put them in a better space.
On
Are we
fire.
crippling them?
My 13-year-old, he's a black male, went walking in a white neighborhood the other day and felt free. And I was so nervous because I didn't know that he had the skills.
And that's the fear.
And
Yeah,
that's the fear.
Yep.
And that's the fear. And I think you're right. And I think even the older, the older part, you were
You're more seasoned.
Well,
Mark.
we're
part.
there together. We're there
Okay,
together.
okay.
where you
I
were
share that.
when it was like you just ignore it, right?
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
you don't. I don't know if we ever had the skills
Mhm.
because we grew up in a time where it was just
Mm.
like just ignore it. Just ignore it. But as you get older and you learn and you're part of this world, it becomes more of a challenge to ignore.
To
But
just
you
ignore
don't
it.
have, I don't want to say, it's not confidence, but you don't have that confidence
Mhm.
to maybe to respond appropriately because
Or the tools.
the tools and because you're the anger
Mhm.
of the suppressed
Pressing.
anger
Yes.
of always
That
ignoring
piling
it.
up. Yeah.
When it comes
Piling up.
time, it's like
But
a bomb.
to your point, though, Sharon, I want to take us back to recognizing that peace in us. What does your body do?
Right.
Like, you know, how does it feel? I know, as I was sharing with you, in the professional realm, I think I meet it a lot. You know, like I said, my heart starts racing, my mind starts racing, my palms get clammy, and then it's really like a panic attack. It's been to the point that I think once in my entire professional career that I had a supervisor. Shout out to Miss Keisha Jackson Muir and Sherry for being positive models of how to lead. Because people in certain positions, they're in leadership positions, but they're not leaders.
They're not leaders.
You know, and they take, I feel like when you're supposed to pour into me and nurture me so I can grow professionally,
Ooh.
you're trying to pound and punch down on me till the point that I shrink. I start doubting myself.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I feel like I'm confused where you really have the power and you know, but now they've beaten you down so much.
It's no longer instructional.
Yeah, it's no longer supporting you. So henceforth, like you said, then those tools that I have, how do they become useful? Because in the moment, I don't even know how to use
Use
it.
them.
And I see in our community that's watching us, there's some wonderful chats being put in. You know, if you are passionate or strong, you want us to think about the next workshop topic, drop it in the chat. Send us an Instagram, send us a tweet, send us a shout out. Let us know. Check our webpage. We do have a date and time, correct, for the
Yes.
upcoming?
Yes.
We do. We're going to do March 14th.
Yes.
We're going to do March 14th from 12 to 2. We are inviting the community to a workshop. We will be using the curriculum, Healing Racial Stress Workbook for Teens. And that's brought to us by Cunningham and Busby. But it's an amazing book. It's an amazing book that teaches you how to respond, and it teaches you when to respond, and it also teaches you how to take care of yourself, how to deep breathe, how to identify all those feelings that you were talking about.
This isn't everybody.
And then what to do with those feelings, and to come up with a plan. We want teenagers from the ages of 13 to 17. We can teach your children and your teenagers how to respond to racial stress. It is an everybody issue.
It's an everybody issue.
Because even if you're in the room and you're hearing someone else being put down, it affects you.
It affects you. Not only does it affect you, you that lingers, and it readjusts how you now think of that person. So people don't realize the spread.
Yeah.
The spread, the sprinkling.
Sprinkling
That it has on your soul, on your peace, on your outlook,
On your mental.
and on the way you respond. So we look forward to hearing from you, seeing you, participating with your youth. We do have a cost for this for our youth. It's teens. It's $60 for the 2-hour session, where we hope to give them the tools to use with the reality that we are now living in.
Absolutely. And the idea is to empower them and to be advocates for themselves, empower them to be advocates for others. It's time. The time has come. We can do it. Our website is www.socialtimeinreality. Please check us out, www.socialtimeinreality.
And send your feedback.
Yes, we love the feedback.
We like to hear
We
feedback.
listened to the feedback from our first live. So we want to improve. We want to give you content and conversations that you want to hear, right? And not just the stalemate typical things, just real things that are impacting your everyday. And to my colleague's point, if you see something, say something.
Yes.
Don't be a standby and just watch and pull out your phone and just record. Say something, do something, because the only way we can get over this hump is if we unite and work together.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in spaces that others cannot and you hear it, steer it to the right direction.
Become an ally.
Yeah.
I love that. Steer it to the right direction. Steer it with the right energy. Steer it with the right skill acquisition that must be taught.
And with that steer, I want to just lean on a Bible verse real quick. Where they say, a softest answer turneth away what? Wrath. So sometimes the aggression doesn't have to meet the aggression. You know? You have to rise above the fray. Sometimes I know everybody loves to use our First Lady, Michelle Obama's quote, when they go low, we go high. But some of us would rather go to hell. But you know, in those moments, you know, I just, you know, because it's a difference. It takes 30 seconds for your life to switch around. So please stop, think before you react or respond. You know, that those things are very important.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's let the healing begin.
Here we
go.
begin. We look forward to seeing you on
March 14th,
2 to 4.
2 to 4.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to all our
Thank you.
family and friends for logging on. Thank
We
you.
really appreciate it.
Ooh, those some stomach.
Sorry.
I'll just record enough so we can cut and paste.
I think that's awesome that you recorded this though, so we can go back and listen, check out our body language, check out our positioning.